In 1994, Jeff Bezos did something most people would never do. He left a high-paying job on Wall Street, packed his car, and drove across the United States to Seattle. His big idea: an online bookstore. This was at a time when most people had barely even heard of the internet. Today, that small idea is known as Amazon, one of the most powerful and influential companies in the world. So, the real question isn't just how Amazon was built. The real question is, what kind of psychology allows someone to see the future before everyone else? Before Amazon ever existed, Jeff Bezos worked at a hedge fund in New York called D.E. Shaw. It was a prestigious job. It was safe. It was stable. But in the early 1990s, Bezos stumbled upon a fascinating statistic. Internet usage was growing at a staggering rate of more than 2,000% per year. For him, this wasn't just a number on a page. It was a signal. A clear signal that something massive, something world-changing was about to happen. So he did what any logical person would do. He made a list. He listed all the products that could potentially be sold online. Books were at the top. They were perfect. There were millions of titles available. They were easy to ship, and you didn't need a physical store to sell them. And with that simple, powerful idea, the seed for Amazon was planted. But the real story here isn't the business idea itself. It's the psychology behind the decision. Bezos knew that leaving his secure job was a huge risk. Most people would have played it safe and stayed. But Bezos used a mental model he calls the regret minimization framework. It's a simple but profound exercise. He imagined himself at 80 years old, looking back on his life. Then he asked himself a single, critical question. Would he regret trying this internet venture and failing? Or would he regret never trying at all? For him, the answer was obvious. He knew he would be haunted by the what if. So he took the risk. Psychologically, this approach is incredibly powerful because as humans, we are deeply motivated to avoid future regret. Bezos simply harnessed that fundamental instinct and used it as a compass for his decision-making. Another defining trait of Bezos's mindset is long-term thinking. Most companies are laser-focused on their next quarterly profits. But Amazon did something completely different. For years, the company made almost no profit at all. Investors were skeptical, and critics were loud. Some analysts even predicted that Amazon was on a collision course with collapse. But Bezos wasn't playing the same game. He had a different strategy entirely. He reinvested every dollar back into the business, pouring money into building out warehouses, logistics systems, new technology, and critical infrastructure. Why? Because he wasn't building a company for today or tomorrow. He was building a company for the next decade and the one after that. Psychologists call this ability delayed gratification, and extensive research shows it's one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. It's the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward in favor of a greater one in the future. Another key principle that forms the bedrock of Amazon is something Bezos famously calls customer obsession. Most businesses are competitor-focused. They watch what their rivals are doing and try to one-up them. But Bezos believed that approach was fundamentally flawed. Instead, he famously said, "Start with the customer and work backwards." This philosophy wasn't just a slogan. It shaped everything Amazon built. It led to innovations like blazingly fast delivery, relentlessly competitive prices, and a hassle-free return policy. It was all about convenience. Over time, these small, consistent improvements created something incredibly powerful: trust. And trust is one of the strongest forces in human psychology. When people trust a brand, when they know it will deliver on its promises, they stay loyal. That loyalty became Amazon's greatest asset. Bezos also championed a belief that many companies actively fear, that failure is not just an option, it's a necessity. At Amazon, teams are actively encouraged to experiment constantly. Some of these ideas work out brilliantly. Others fail spectacularly. But as Bezos once said in a very revealing quote, "If you know it's going to work, it's not an experiment." True innovation requires taking risks. It demands stepping into the unknown. And if you look at Amazon's history, many of its biggest breakthroughs came directly from this culture of experimentation. Think about it. Amazon Prime, which completely changed our expectations for shipping. AWS or Amazon Web Services, which now powers a huge portion of the internet. and the Kindle, which revolutionized how we read books. None of these were guaranteed successes. They were all bold experiments. Another psychological difference that sets Bezos apart is how he thinks about scale. Most entrepreneurs focus on creating a great product. Bezos thinks about building powerful systems. Amazon isn't just a store. It's a massive, interconnected ecosystem. It's a network of state-of-the-art warehouses, a global cloud infrastructure, a complex logistics network, and layers of artificial intelligence working behind the scenes. These integrated systems are what allow Amazon to seamlessly serve millions upon millions of customers every single day. That's the incredible power of systems thinking. It's about designing the machine that builds the machine, creating a scalable foundation for near-infinite growth. So, what really made Jeff Bezos one of the most successful entrepreneurs in history? It wasn't just intelligence, it wasn't just good timing, and it definitely wasn't luck alone. It was his psychology. It was the courage to take calculated risks when others played it safe. It was the patience to think in decades, not quarters. It was the unwavering discipline to obsess over the customer's needs above all else. And it was the mindset to experiment relentlessly, embracing failure as a stepping stone to innovation. Most people focus on working harder. But Jeff Bezos shows us something different. Sometimes the real competitive advantage comes from thinking differently. And the people who have the vision to imagine the future early enough are often the very ones who end up building it. Thanks for watching.